All right, guys, welcome back. So this week, I'm going to be taking you through my putting session. Now, I run this with all my golfers on the road, and I think it's the key to being a good putter in managing your golf game to cut down on strokes. So when we're thinking about putting, there's three things that really matter in this game. That is getting the correct read, being able to hit your line, and controlling your speed every time. So we're going to talk about things that players struggle with and the players could do well and how they can really improve around the greens. Hey guys, if you're enjoying these videos, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, leave a comment, tell me what you're doing in your golf game, and please hit the subscribe button. We're building a great community here and I appreciate everyone's support. All right guys, so the first thing we're going to talk about is reading the green. Now, for me personally, the green read starts the moment that my cart pulls up to a green. I'm looking for certain things. Now, most greens are built for drainage. So if you can find the points where a green is going to drain, you're going to be able to start seeing subtle breaks, sometimes pretty big breaks caused by the drainage, but you're going to be able to start reading your putt and getting an idea when you're just walking up. Now, if you're a high handicapper, you probably don't want to take a whole lot of time. So that's what we're going to kind of get you going with here. But I walk up, I start my read behind the golf ball. So I get down on my knees here, try and read the putt. Now this one's going to move a little bit right to left. I know that. I always move up to the hole on the right side. Now I'm just sitting here looking for grain, and I take a quick stop about halfway in between to realize what distance I have to cover. Now I will pay close attention to the grain happening right around the cup. When the putt is dying off, the grain is going to have a big effect on it. So from here, I will take a look behind the hole, and then I'm going to start walking back into it, okay? When I get to about the midpoint here, I'm going to have one more stop just to really look over my putt, see what I'm going to do. Now, I walk behind it. I've pretty much formulated everything that I see in my read. From here, I'm going to take one more peek behind it. Now, the goal here is a two putt, right? This is a long putt. I'm not necessarily trying to make it. If I can, that's better. But I'm going to walk in from the side. When I'm behind it, I've been looking and visualizing my line. I like to pick a mark just in front of the hole. I've got a blade of grass here that I want to go over. It's a little miscolored. Easy line. I step in, set up the putter right at that line, and I get my stance. Now, I've done this so many times, it's easy for me to get my stance in alignment every time. Then I'm going to hit the putt. Now, it's actually a pretty good putt. We almost made it, but that's what I'm looking for. Good speed control. It's about 2.5 feet, maybe a little bit harder than I would have liked, but that's going to put me in a position where I'm two putting every time. So go through a read. Now, if you're a higher handicap player, you can cut some of that out, right? When you're walking up to the green, just walk up to the midpoint of your putt, okay? See what you have going on. Just get an idea for the feel and then look at it from behind it. If you want to look at the grain, you can start there, check out your grain, but just so you play faster. You don't want to be the guy holding up your entire group. But that's how I approach green reading when I'm looking to play better golf. Now, the next thing I notice players really struggle with is hitting their start line, okay? Now, I think this is one of the most critical things if you want to be a good putter, knowing where the ball will start. So if you're missing it, you notice that you can get in here and you can look at this little 3-footer and get yourself in a position where the putt's not even hitting the hole if we can't hit our start line. So that tells me there's a stroke deficiency. So this Tuesday, I'm going to have a Just the Drills video where I give you tons of drills to work on hitting your start line. But I like my players to find an object or a mark in the ground about a foot and a half in front of their golf ball when they're actually on the course working. This is a great way that we can focus on what we're trying to hit. If I'm sitting here and I can see that the whole time I'm set up to the golf ball, it's going to be a lot easier for me to hit my start line when I'm looking at those putts. Now, when we get into the 3, 4, 5-foot putts, this is where start line is critical. We need to be able to find ourselves hitting that mark, getting it tracking on a line. If we can get a good read, we have a pretty high chance of making these putts. If we start making these putts, we're going to cut down on the 2, 3 putts, and we're going to start seeing ourselves scoring a lot better. Now, the third thing golfers need to learn how to control is their speed. To me, speed is the most important part of putting. If you can control your speed, you are going to cut down on 3-putts. That is just a given, okay? Those 3-putts add up to a lot at the end of the day. Now, there's a lot of simple drills I'm going to give you on Tuesday to start really being able to control your speed. But one thing that we can really concentrate on now is finding where is our speed miss. Do we find ourselves leaving it short all the time, or do we hit it too far? You know, those are the goals with this, is to figure out where that speed is being missed. Now, a lot of players get up here and they're timid. If you're timid over a putt and you leave it short, a lot of that gets into the lack of confidence with your read. If you're confident in your read and you work on that, you are going to hit more solid putts and get it closer to the hole. If you get into a position where you're hitting it too hard, a lot of players don't see enough break. Now, if we're ramming it right through the break because we're not confident in our read in terms of the slope, that's another reason that players start to see the putts go way by. We don't know if that ball is going to come back down that slope, so we just take the under route and hit it way too hard and get it going way too far by the hole. All right, guys, I hope this video helps give a baseline. On Tuesday, I'm going to come out with a bunch of drills that I take all my players through when they're trying to learn how to control line, read, and speed. If you can get those under control, you are going to play better golf, and I hope that we see you Tuesday. Hey guys, if you like this video, please like and comment. I come out with new content every Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Thanks a lot, you guys.